Hey, it's Miriam. Today's video is going to be all about the IT Cosmetics brand new CC cream. This is the matte and oil-free CC Plus that they just launched, and I was super excited to get this in the mail. Wanted to review it for you guys. I didn't want this to be a first impression. I wanted to do a thorough review of it, especially in California being 107 degrees. I had to try this to see if it was really going to hold up with the weather being so hot and everything. So I did a couple of applications, different days, wanted to give you a nice thorough review. First day I tried this, I tried half of my face with, I applied it with a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, and the second half I applied the CC Plus with a fluffy foundation brush, and they both applied the same. I didn't really see that much of a difference. The beauty blender side maybe was a little bit more sheer than the foundation brush side, but it was pretty equal. I didn't feel like there were that much of a difference as far as the application goes. I put one pump on this side and one pump on the other side, which was a little bit too much. I would say I could probably get away with just doing one pump the entire face, but because I was testing a different application, I did one pump on either side, and I feel like it was a little bit thicker than I would wear my foundations, but I did not mind it. It wasn't too cakey. It actually felt okay. It was 107 degrees. I was perspiring as I was putting this foundation on. It was pretty crazy because it was really hot, especially having these lights around me. Even though the AC is going, it was pretty hot. So I started perspiring around my upper lip and my chin area. Dabbed the perspiration away. I noticed that my foundation was still there. It was still matte. It didn't move at all. I went on with my day. I checked in an hour later. I noticed that I was still matte throughout most of my face, actually my forehead and my chin. But there was a weird sensation. I was feeling a little itchy around my mouth and around this area and a little bit on my forehead. And I've never put on a foundation and that made me itchy. So I was itchy and I really wanted to like get in there and itch, but I was resisting the temptation. So I tried not to itch it so I wouldn't move the foundation around. So that was kind of weird to me. I don't know if it was an ingredient, if it's an ingredient in there that made me itchy, or it was just because it was so hot that my skin was just not having it, didn't want to have foundation or any kind of CC Plus or anything on. I looked at the foundation 2 hours later, wanted to see if it was oily in any places. On my nose and my forehead, it was a little bit oily. My cheek area and this part of my face was pretty matte. But my T-zone, because that's the oiliest part of my skin, started getting a little bit shiny. What happened after a couple of hours, I did realize that there was some pore situation happening around here. I could see the pores, that the foundation was kind of sinking into the pores. This foundation didn't sink or gather into my lines on my forehead. It didn't gather into my laugh line, which was really good. Second day I applied the CC Plus. I applied a very light coverage of sunblock, and then I put on the Too Faced Pore Minimizer in the enlarged pores and on my cheeks a little bit. And I wanted to see how it would work, you know, with other primers. I didn't use the IT Cosmetics primer. I should have probably used it, but I just used the primer that came to my mind that I always use. So I wanted to see how it would, you know, hold up with that. I took Ariana to her swimming class. I came back. It was 107 degrees. I was literally it was really, really hot. I noticed that my T-zone was very oily. I was perspiring here, but again, it wasn't moving. But the wear was around this area where I wear glasses. The foundation completely had moved completely. My T-zone was oily and it looked like my foundation was gone. The foundation was gone around my nose. Everything else looked matte. Everything else looked like it didn't budge. So my conclusion for this IT Cosmetics oil-free matte CC Plus is that it's a decent matte, but if you have very, very oily skin, I'm not sure if it's gonna work. If you are very oily, you might have to set it heavily with a powder, especially if you're very oily in the T-zone area. You have to set it, and probably in 2-3 hours you have to either blot your nose area, the T-zone area, or you have to reapply some powder depending on if it's hot outside. It all depends. But if you are normal, or if you're normal to dry, I would say it would hold up really well. Your skin would look flawless. It would look really great. So I would say it's kind of I have mixed feelings about it. Today I wore it with only one pump, applied it with my damp beauty blender, and it's only been 2 hours, and already you can see that my nose is starting to get really shiny, and I'm not even wearing any highlighters on my nose. I'm only wearing it on my cheeks, so you can see it's looking pretty oily. I really love the original one so much, and I felt that this would be really nice to have a matte version of it, and maybe, you know, use the matte whenever it's hot, or when I feel like I'm feeling more oily or anything like that. But for me, it was okay. It didn't really work that well. So if you are oily, I would love to hear what you think about this CC Plus. If you can, please leave your comments below and share with us how you're liking it, if you like it, if you don't like it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.